I'm Dr. Mark Sherwood, and I'm challenging Kevin Stitt in the GOP primary on June 28th. Welcome back to the second in our series of discussions of the amendments to the United States Constitution. It is important that we all remember that our Constitution, including all 27 amendments, is not only an historic document, it very much impacts our everyday lives in today's modern world. As your next Oklahoma governor, I promise and assure you that I will recognize and apply every provision of the U.S. Constitution in the performance of my duties in service to you and all Oklahomans. Today, we're going to look at Amendments 4, 5, and 6. Now, here at the heart of our Bill of Rights are three more of these amendments. Amendment 4 prohibits unreasonable searches and seizures and sets out requirements for search warrants based upon probable cause. Now, in my previous career as an officer with the Tulsa Police Department and as a leader of the SWAT team, no one understands or respects the rights of suspects better than I do. In the United States, no one can intrude into our home or search our vehicle without complying with the law. Otherwise, the officer would be held responsible and prosecuted accordingly if he or she were to go rogue. Unfortunately, it does happen, but enforcement officers are accountable for their actions. Here in Oklahoma, we believe in and apply the rule of law, but we hold our government officials just as accountable as we do our private citizens. As your governor, the buck will always stop on my desk. I will abide by the law, and so will everyone in my administrations. Our actions in your behalf will always be transparent in ways you have never before witnessed. Amendment 5 sets out rules for indictment by grand jury and eminent domain, protects the rights to due process, and prohibits self-incrimination and double jeopardy. We've all heard about a defendant taking the fifth. This amendment was not intended by our founders to protect criminals. Rather, it guarantees that the government must have evidence of a crime without self-incrimination. The authors of the Constitution had lived under British colonial rule in which their rights were neither respected nor protected. This ensured that this government of the United States would be unparalleled in the history of the world in protecting human liberties. None of us would want the government to be able to retry us for the same crime after we were once found innocent by a jury of our peers. Especially today, when we see an out-of-control federal government, we applaud the wisdom of those patriots long ago who anticipated and ensured that our Constitution is designed to protect we the people from our government and not the other way around. Amendment 6 protects the rights to a speedy public trial, to notification of criminal accusations, to confront the accuser, to obtain witnesses, and to retain counsel. It's easy to understand why the government must be prevented from holding a suspect indefinitely without being charged or brought to trial. That would be ripe for abuse. This happens in most of the world today. In America, and particularly here in Oklahoma, we will respect the rights of everyone to a speedy trial and to be confronted by his or her accusers. There will be no anonymous allegations of wrongdoing which cannot be proven in a court of law. If an indigent person cannot afford an attorney, counsel will be provided. Now, in 1966, the U.S. Supreme Court decision in Miranda v. Arizona, it was held that every suspect must be advised of his or her constitutional rights. That is what we now refer to as the Miranda warning. In summary, all these amendments considered at the time of our Constitution was being ratified guarantee that America is unique among world's nations. In future discussions, we will consider how in recent history, the failure to uphold their constitutional oath by government officials of all three branches in Washington, D.C. has put America in peril during a time of constitutional crisis. Thank you for your time once again. We shall continue with our chronological discussion of the amendments very soon.